When you hear the name Isaac Newton, what comes to mind? A falling apple, gravity, the laws of motion, I guess, the cold, rational genius who helped build modern science. But what if everything you think you know about Newton is only half the story? Because hidden behind the equations, locked away in private manuscripts for centuries, was a completely different man. A man obsessed with prophecy, a man who spent more time studying the Bible than studying physics, a man who wrote more than 2 million words about scripture, sacred history, ancient mysteries, and the future of the world. Newton wasn't just searching for the laws of nature, he was searching for the mind of God. He studied secret biblical patterns. He analyzed dimensions of Solomon's temple. He filled notebooks with interpretations of the book of Daniel and Revelation. To the world, he was the father of science. But in private, Isaac Newton believed he was uncovering divine truth itself, and what he discovered would shock the generations to come. The year was 1665. Death was everywhere. The Great Plague swept through England, killing thousands. Universities shut their doors, and students fled the cities. Among them was a young man named Isaac Newton. Forced into isolation, he returned to his family home in Worcester. Most people saw tragedy, but Newton saw opportunity. Alone with his thoughts, he began asking questions that would change history forever. Why do objects fall? Why do planets move? Why does the universe obey such precise laws? Legends say that one afternoon an apple dropped from a tree. For most people, it would have been an ordinary moment. But for Newton, it became a revelation. He began to imagine an invincible force stretching across the cosmos. The same force pulling the apple downward was holding the moon in orbit. The same force governed the stars. The same force ruled creation. But Newton never believed gravity explained everything. In fact, he argued fiercely against those who claimed the universe could run without God. Newton famously insisted that gravity could explain how planets move, but not who set them in motion, not who designed the system, and not who established the laws. To Newton, every mathematical pattern pointed towards a divine intelligence. Every orbit was an evidence of design. Every equation was another glimpse into the Creator's work. For him, studying physics wasn't a challenge to faith, it was an act of worship, a way of reading the fingerprints of God across the universe. But Newton's greatest obsession wasn't gravity, it was prophecy. While the world celebrated his scientific breakthroughs, Newton spent decades secretly studying the books of Daniel and Revelation. Night after night, year after year, searching for hidden patterns, searching for meaning, searching for God's timeline. He even taught himself Hebrew so he could read portions of scripture closer to their original language and meaning. He approached biblical prophecies the same way he approached mathematics, carefully, methodically, patiently. Every symbol was a clue, every number mattered, every prophecy was a puzzle waiting to be solved. Most people read Daniel and Revelation as mysterious spiritual books, but Newton, he read them like a coded message. And after decades of calculation, comparison, and historical analysis, he arrived at a remarkable conclusion. In a private manuscript, Newton wrote down a year. For centuries, that number remained hidden from the public. Only after his unpublished papers were examined did the world discover it. Many people misunderstood what Newton meant. He wasn't predicting that the earth would explode. He wasn't announcing a Hollywood-style apocalypse. Instead, Newton believed that around this period, which he wrote, the present age would give way to a divine transformation, a new era associated with the return of Christ and the establishment of God's kingdom. He also warned against the reckless predictions and sensational claims. Still, the greatest scientific mind in history had spent years calculating biblical prophecy, not as a fantasy, not as mythology, but as something worthy of serious study. Whether you agree with this conclusion or not, one fact remains undeniable. Newton believed the future was written by the same God who wrote the laws of nature. Think about that for a moment. The man who explained gravity, the man who transformed mathematics, the man many consider the greatest scientist who ever lived, never saw science and faith as enemies. When Newton looked through the lens of science, he didn't see a universe without God. He saw evidence of God everywhere, in stars, in planets, in the laws that governed reality itself. The deeper he explored creation, the stronger his belief became. And maybe that's the lesson this story leaves behind. In a world that often tells us we must choose between reason and faith, between intellect and belief, Newton's life offers a different possibility. Perhaps the search for truth doesn't lead away from God. Perhaps it leads towards God. Perhaps science answers the questions of how, while faith answers the questions of why. And perhaps both journeys are pointing to the same destination. So now we leave the question with you. Did Isaac Newton discover the law of physics, or did he simply translate the language of God? Let us know your answers in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more hidden truths, unforgettable history, and extraordinary journeys here on TCI Studio. See ya!